Wait for it. Wait for it, and we're live. Hey, all you crazy sci-fi and fantasy fans. It's time for your daily dose of shenanigans over here at the Blasters and Blades podcast. Just a couple of nerdy veterans, one stabby chaos coordinator, and a chief shenanigator geeking out over our science fiction passions and fantastical fantasies. A place where magic is king, the sky is the limit, and space is the place. We are the podcast that puts the fun in dysfunction. So without further ado, we're going to let our guest, Miss Teri Kay Jobe, introduce herself to our listeners and viewers at home.
Oh, hello, I'm back once again. Teri Kay Jobe, audiobook narrator, somewhat not so baby author anymore. I think I've done enough anthologies to not be a baby writer. And just all around interesting person.
Absolutely. Is it true that for you maintain the Batcave for Park Services?
Occasionally, but that is privileged knowledge.
I'm not supposed to tell people that? Crap, I should have read that NDA more carefully. We'll edit that out. It'll be okay.
It's one of those conspiracy theories. Everyone knows about it anyway. They just don't think it's real.
All right. Since this is the Blasters and Blades podcast, even though this is a short interview for a short story, we do have to do the religion question. So are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right. What is your favorite anthropomorphic creature to read about?
Ooh, that's a good one. Do dragons count?
I mean, I would say probably no, but also who argues with dragons?
That is true because we are tasty and good with ketchup, or crunchy and good with ketchup.
I've seen that bumper sticker.
Very accurate. Well, let's see if we're not doing dragons. Ooh.
For me, I'm going to go with the combat wombat just because I've seen it on so many military T-shirts. I'm just going to roll
nice, nice.
And
no,
it kind
I'm
of
going to say cats.
Cats.
Oh, and the alliteration is wonderful.
I appreciate a good alliteration. I like the lyrical nature of it. Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons I appreciate Shakespeare in the Round in the original late Middle English. It's lyrical if you listen to it in the original language. Some of the places where the jokes just don't land, it's because, well, they rhymed. It wasn't supposed to be that kind of joke. It was supposed to be a rhyming. It just didn't translate very well. All right, and so if you're going to you like reading about anthropomorphic cats, and there's plenty of room for that, especially urban fantasy. They love them some cats.
Oh, yeah.
And so what about if you're going to write about them? What's your favorite to write about? Still cats?
Ooh. You know what? I am actually going to say foxes. Because I have foxes in the story series I'm working on that are anthropomorphic.
So I'm going to stick with this. Going to be a little bit basic, but I had a lot of fun writing about the War Hamster. I was a fan of Redwall back in the day. Yes. So like anthropomorphic creatures work for me. You see some of that in Alice in Wonderland, the anthropomorphic creatures. You see it in, what is the other one? Narnia. So, I mean, it's lots of kids' books have their anthropomorphic creatures. So I mean, it's just kind of staple, but I still like the War Hamster.
He shouldn't be saying anything. He's a beaver. Fantastic line.
Indeed. All right. So that's the favorite one to write about. And finally, if you could become a anthropomorphic creature, which would you pick?
There's two directions I could go with that. So I'm going to give two answers. One would be a bat, so I could fly, and bats are just awesome. The other would be an aquatic creature of some kind, maybe a dolphin that I could. Well, actually, no, not a dolphin. They can't breathe underwater. They're mammals. Stop and think think about biology. A fish, because then I could breathe underwater.
Breathing underwater would be cool. Mermaid.
But would a mermaid fall under the same magical umbrella as dragon?
It might. That's something to think about. And then what kind of mermaid? Is it the Disney mermaid or is it the Celtic mermaid where they're going to bite your face off and they look kind of mean?
Pretty, but I might bite your head off anyway.
That's always a plus, biting the head off. If you don't like somebody, just eat them. Although I'm told cannibalism is frowned upon, so like I just can't do that willy-nilly. Modern times, man. They take away all our fun. All right. Okay. So today we're going to do a short interview for a short story. with Teri Kay Jobe, obviously. This time we're going to be talking about her short story in the War Hamster Anthology. So let me do my worst movie trailer voice guy thing going on, and I'm going to read you the write-up for the War Hamster. So, gear up for a wild ride with War Hamster, Tales Untold, an electrifying anthology. This pulse-pounding collection of fantasy and science fiction stories unleashes a menagerie of ferocious hamster heroes battling against impossible odds. From a grizzled starship captain hauling mysterious cargo in the gritty depths of space to valiant hamster paladins wielding flaming blades on war-torn battlefields, these tales explore courage, loyalty, and the unbreakable spirit of the underdog. Featuring gripping stories by Jana, Teri Kay Jobe, J.R. Handley, and more, this anthology will leave you cheering for the pint-sized warriors who prove that even the smallest creatures can change the galaxy. Will you join the War Hamster's fearless charge? Grab your copy now and dive right in. Okay, that hurts my throat, but it's probably an okay ad read. I mean, I'm not going to take that guy's job as the movie trailer guy, but
in a world, I can't do it.
Right. I'll give it a C minus. And my throat hurts, man. I need to drink some water. All right, so Teri, what was your short story called?
So mine was called A Dance of War and Death. I wrote it, at least started the first draft of it while I was at Ren Fair. So I kind of had that medieval Game of Thrones type of thing. And since these are war hamsters, there's going to be a lot of blood and there's going to be a lot of, fighting and weapons and all that cool shenanigans.
And while mine was grittier, I do like the kind of cute paladin on the cover.
Yeah, that is kind of adorable. Very Redwall-esque.
That's what I was thinking too. So could you give us a kind of Reader's Digest summary? Obviously, no spoilers because we want people to read the stories. But if you were going to summarize your story.
Ooh. So you have essentially 3 separate tribes of these hamsters live in different environments, and there's already different tensions between all of them. They don't always get along with each other, but when there is a new threat in the form of predatory creatures, they have to figure out where their loyalties are actually going to be and how to deal with this newer problem. A potentially deadly you will get eaten problem.
Okay. What can you tell us about your main character?
Ooh. The fun part about that is I kind of have 3, but there's one I focus on a little bit more, which is all I can say without spoilers. We'll say that he is of the desert tribe, the Dune Walkers of hamsters. I cheated. I did research for this, and I found out where hamsters live. They can live in deserts or mountains or on plains and grassland. So I was like, okay, there's my 3 environments. But the main one is from the dunes. They cultivate cactus for the flowers of the fruit. It's a little unclear exactly why they do that. But they are having some issues with predatory creatures. And this particular hamster, General Dune Fur, is a little bit calmer than some of the other characters. Has a little bit more of a level head.
Okay. Was the Ren Fair what inspired the short story or just where you wrote it?
Honestly, a big part of my original inspiration for this, once we started talking about it and this term kept coming up in the other podcasts I've been on, was honestly Redwall. Those have battles that are quite dramatic, and creatures die during those. And I kind of wanted to do something similar to that because that sounded fun. I've written fight scenes, I've written scenes with animals, but I haven't really connected those ideas before. So it's kind of an homage to what Mr. Jacques did so well. I won't say I did as well as him, but yeah, I tried.
Does it fit into a larger universe, or is this a standalone for now?
A standalone for now. There's certainly room for expansion if I ever decide to go that way, but this is one of the only stories I've written recently that isn't connected to a larger world that's bopping around in my brain.
And that can be freeing.
Yes.
A one and done, get in, get out, and have some fun along the way.
Mm-hmm.
If you did more in the larger universe, you think it'd be more short stories and these, tease ideas, or would you novelize it?
It would probably have to start out as short stories, I think. This was the main plot that came to me, and all the other things kind of came about, like these different environments where the different tribes of hamsters live kind of came about as, well, I want them to have internal conflict besides the predatory animals. So how can I do that? And a different environment just made sense, especially with the limited research I had done. And I hadn't really thought, beyond that. There's certainly room for it. I left plenty of openings for other types of intrigue and things that could have happened before or after. So there's room there. For short stories, definitely. Novel? I don't know. Other long-form stories have my attention currently, but we shall see.
All right. Since we did promise you, dear listener, a short interview for a short story, we do plan to deliver a fun one for the road. If you could live in the world of your War Hamster short story, would you?
Ooh. I think I might live with one of the other tribes, not the Dune Walkers. I'm kind of over the desert at the moment. But there's another tribe.
Me too, sister. Me too.
Yes. I need trees. You know what? That actually changes my answer. So I mentioned plains and mountain hamsters. I was going to say I would live with the grassland hamsters because they're pretty laid back too, as a whole. But mountains, oftentimes, if you get into the lower elevations, have trees. So I'm going to go with the mountain hamsters. I'll live with them.
I love the mountains. There's just something relaxing about it. So I'm with you there. In my dream world, I buy a mountain homestead and just write and, do homesteady stuff and then write some more and drink coffee as the sun sets.
Ooh, that sounds
my running goal,
amazing.
and I'll try not to make you guys sick, dear listener. I've always said my goal for my homestead dreamland is I wanted to be able to walk out and make it into my property and not have neighbors complain because they're so far away. Not that I would. Mosquitoes are a thing. I'm just saying the security of knowing they're that far away. Right. That I mean, when you've worn a kilt and you've been bit in certain places, you realize, precautions are a thing.
That's totally fair.
So, Teri, where might listeners and viewers find you on the wild interwebs? And as usual, the links will be in the show notes.
Most commonly, I am found on the Book of Faces, Facebook, Teri Kay Jobe. I'm in the process of working on my website, which I'm going to have to improve now because I have a new job and it uses the same system that I use. So I'm going to have to learn it.
Cool.
So you may see me more frequently there in the future.
Is it true that you are the custodian for the gate room in Stargate Command?
That one I shall have to deny.
All right. And this is part of the interview, dear listener, where I remind you to please be kind and speak your mind on the reviewing platforms. Your reviews help the right readers find the right books. So do your part, people. It really does make a difference. And then with that, you can find us on our Linktree, linktr.ee, Linktree/Blasters and Blades Podcast. Again, Linktree/Blasters and Blades Podcast, where we link to all the things, the BitChutes, the Rumble, the YouTube, the TikTok, the Twitters, the Spotify, the Discord, the Blasters and Blades Facebook group and Facebook page. We have our email, blastersandbladespodcast@gmail.com. Again, blastersandbladespodcast@gmail.com for professional purposes only, people. Save the shenanigans from Stabby Stab over there on the Instagram, Twitter, and the email. You can support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/authorjr. J.R. Handley. Again, buymeacoffee.com/author J.R. Handley. These episodes aren't free to produce, so we really do appreciate your patronage. It helps keeps the lights on. We are approaching the end of the fiscal year, which is December for StreamYard's purposes, so your donations will help renew for 2026 and season 6. If you're going to use the buymeacoffee.com, be sure to put in the comment sections for the podcast, and I promise I will keep my co-hosts duly caffeinated. They will drink that coffee brand coffee until it pours out of their eyeballs, and we paddle away on a canoe made of chocolate in a river of Java goodness. And if you want some of that coffee brand coffee, the link is in the show notes. The discount code podcast Grunt gets you 10% off. We get a little bit of a kickback. It's a win-win, people. And with that, thank you for spending some of your precious time with me. For my crazy co-host, I am J.R. Handley, and this was the Blasters and Blades podcast. We'll be back next week at the same time, where we'll indulge our love of nerd culture, cheesy jokes, and all things that go boom. And with that, we are out. Thank you for coming on, Teri. I told you it would be a short interview. You didn't believe me, and here we are.
You delivered.
Thank you for coming out. We'll have to have you again, obviously. And with that, I'm going to hit the end button before I say something on record.